Hello lovely viewers, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful News official YouTube channel, your top destination for the most explosive CBS soap updates. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and give this video a huge thumbs up. As golden morning light filtered through the grand windows of the Forrester mansion, casting a warm, almost sacred glow on the heirloom furniture and decades-old portraits that lined the walls, Eric Forrester stood quietly by the piano, his fingers resting on the worn ivory keys that had once accompanied impromptu serenades and holiday melodies, his gaze distant, heavy with thought. Because what had once brought him peace now carried the unbearable weight of a decision that would forever change the family, the company, and the legacy he had built, and as the silence deepened, he cleared his throat and summoned his strength, knowing it was time to deliver the news he had avoided saying out loud for weeks, if not years. And so, when Ridge, Brooke, Steffi, Hope, Donna, and even Zend, RJ, and Thomas arrived for what they thought was just another business meeting in the Forrester living room, no one expected the announcement that would follow, but Eric, dignified as ever despite the growing fatigue in his eyes, stood tall and declared in a voice softened by emotion yet resolute with finality, "It's time. I've decided to retire, not in a few years, not even next season. I'm stepping away early. This will be my last chapter at Forrester Creations," and the room fell silent, the words hanging in the air like a bomb, shocking everyone into stillness, as Donna clutched her chest with trembling fingers and whispered, "No. Eric, please tell me this is just a break," but he shook his head gently. "It's not a break. It's not about weakness. It's about legacy. It's time for me to pass the torch, fully." And as the realization sank in, Ridge stepped forward, eyes glossed over with tears he refused to let fall, his voice cracking as he asked, "Is this because of the last health scare? Are you not telling us something?" To which Eric offered a bittersweet smile. "It's not just about health, it's about peace. It's about choosing when to step away before someone else chooses for me." And though the words were filled with grace, the impact was nuclear, especially for Donna, who had stood by his side through health scares, estate battles, and emotional wars, her sobs breaking through as she whispered, "I'm not ready to lose this." And Hope, always the voice of encouragement, stepped closer and offered a hand to Donna while saying to Eric, "If this is what you want, we'll make sure the future you dreamed of is carried forward with honor." But the moment was cut with rising tension as Ridge's long-held struggle for control bubbled to the surface again, his voice rising with barely contained fire. "You're just going to walk away? Without a full transition plan? After everything we've built, the fashion empire, the showrooms, the legacy," and Eric, with patience carved by time and wisdom, nodded slowly. "You're ready, Ridge, whether you want to believe it or not, and I trust that you'll lead the company with the same heart and fire I did." But not everyone agreed. Thomas stepped forward, his jaw clenched, anger simmering. "You've barely given us time to react. You say this is about peace, but you're detonating a bomb in the heart of this family." And while voices began to rise, a different kind of silence fell over the room when Steffi, often the emotional compass of the family, stepped in between them all and said with strength, "Maybe this isn't about us. Maybe this is about letting the man who gave us everything finally have something for himself." And Eric's eyes, glassy with emotion, landed on her with pride. "Thank you, sweetheart," he said softly, "you understand." But the meeting wasn't just emotional, it was about logistics too, and as Carter arrived moments later, briefcase in hand, he quickly understood what was happening and set it down with gravity. "If you're stepping away early, we'll need to initiate new contracts, legal transitions, board approvals. Are you sure you're ready to do this now?" And Eric nodded, "I'm sure." And so the wheels began turning. Donna wept openly, Ridge struggled to breathe through the sudden shift in power, and Hope and Steffi stood united in offering encouragement. "We've got you," Hope whispered to Donna, while Steffi reassured her grandfather, "You'll always have a place here, even if you're not sitting behind the desk." But things got messy outside the mansion when word began to spread. The media picked up the story within the hour, headlines flashing across fashion sites. "Eric Forrester announces early retirement, shockwaves at Forrester Creations." And reporters swarmed the Forrester building, demanding statements from Ridge and Steffi, and even Quinn, hearing the news from afar, made a call that went unanswered, as unresolved tensions still lingered between her and Eric, while Pam and Charlie sobbed in the break room. And at Il Giardino, Deacon poured Eric a drink later that night and said sincerely, "You were always the lion of this city. Eric, if anyone's earned rest, it's you," to which Eric replied, "I may be stepping away from work, but I'll never stop being a Forrester." And back at the office, Zend and RJ wrestled with what this meant for their future, RJ quietly saying, "He's the only CEO I've ever known," and Zend replying, "He's not leaving us, he's just letting us lead." And while the news sent tremors through the business side of things, the personal impact was deeper, rawer, because this wasn't just a professional changing of the guard, it was the symbolic end of an era, a goodbye to decades of rich, complicated storytelling. And even Taylor, who returned from a humanitarian trip upon hearing the news, visited Eric that evening and told him with a heavy heart, "The world needs more men like you, but even giants deserve rest." And Eric thanked her with a nod of respect and admiration. And as the family gathered that night at the mansion for what could only be described as a baptism of legacy, a symbolic blessing of what was to come, Eric took the floor one last time, raised a glass, and said to the tearful, applauding crowd, "This home, this family, this company, are the most beautiful creations of my life." And he turned to Ridge and added, "Don't let the weight of the past stop you from building the future, it's yours now." And with those words, with encouragement flowing through the champagne and tears, and with emotions peaking in a way that only the bold and the beautiful can deliver, Eric Forrester, John McCook, took his final bow as CEO, and the screen faded to black. Over applause, a bittersweet montage of his greatest moments flashing across memories as the next chapter, uncertain but filled with promise, began. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Steffi Forrester may have a 7-word response to discovering living Luna Nozawa's hideout. Lee Finnegan will face her daughter-in-law's fury sooner or later, so let's talk about the showdown that's brewing. Although Lee claims Luna died in recovery, it's easy to see that's not true. Lee didn't want to watch Luna get locked up again since she's finally feeling some sympathy over her past trauma. Since Luna had Poppy Nozawa for a mother, Lee feels like her niece didn't get the life she deserved. There's a sense of protective loyalty coming from Lee now, like she wants to look after Luna and make up for all the ways Poppy disappointed her. Lee will get that chance now that she's presumably whisked Luna off somewhere to finish her recovery in peace. Deputy Chief Bradley Baker was ready to put Luna back in prison and never let her out, but he didn't have the opportunity since Lee apparently faked Luna's death. Since Luna will still be airing on BNB in September, we'll see Luna in hiding at some point. Lee and Luna have more scenes coming up, so she'll be able to explain everything to Luna and offer some real support. However, this is the kind of secret that's bound to blow up in Lee's face. Lee can't keep something this huge buried indefinitely, so we should go ahead and think about the fallout of her deception. Jacqueline McInnes Wood's maternity leave may delay things for a while, but Steffi will no doubt find out what Lee's hiding eventually. You can bet Steffi's going to unleash her wrath once she realizes Lee lied about Luna's demise. There's really only one way Steffi can react to that shocking discovery, so she seems poised to offer this 7-word response to Lee: "Luna belongs in prison, not with you." Steffi is sure to flip out over Luna living in hiding and will argue that Lee is putting everyone at risk. This could lead to the showdown of the century, so stay tuned for updates on the stunning news ahead for Steffi and the backlash Lee will face. The bold and the beautiful spoilers predict Steffi will demand Luna's arrest in the end. The ongoing saga on the bold and the beautiful has taken yet another gripping turn, as new spoilers reveal that Steffi Forrester is on the verge of uncovering a shocking truth about Luna Nozawa, a truth that promises to ignite one of the fiercest confrontations in recent memory. Though everyone believes Luna Nozawa died during recovery, the truth is far from it. Lee Finnegan, who holds the role of deputy chief in the police force, secretly orchestrated a cover-up, faking Luna's death to protect her from returning behind bars. It's a decision that has many questioning Lee's motives, but when viewed through the lens of her complicated family history, it starts to make sense. Lee's heart softens when it comes to Luna, partly because Luna's mother, Poppy Nozawa, was a troubled woman who never quite gave her daughter the life she deserved. Lee's protective instincts have kicked in, fueled by a mix of sympathy and a desire to redeem the past failings of her family's younger generation. She doesn't want Luna to face the brutal realities of prison again, especially after Luna's previous struggles and trauma. Now, Luna is hidden away somewhere safe, far from the prying eyes of law enforcement and the harsh judgments of society. Lee is determined to give Luna the peace and space she needs to recover, both physically and emotionally. This secret sanctuary is Lee's attempt at redemption, not just for Luna, but also for herself and the tangled family web she's part of. However, Deputy Chief Bradley Baker was all set to lock Luna up again, insisting that justice must be served and that she belonged behind bars. But he never got the chance to enforce the law because Lee took matters into her own hands, using her authority to shield Luna with this elaborate deception. Since Luna's character is confirmed to be returning in episodes airing as late as September, fans can expect to see her in hiding, grappling with her circumstances while Lee provides the support she never had before. Their scenes together will be crucial, offering insight into the difficult bond between Guardian and Ward, as well as the ethical and emotional weight of the secret they share. Yet, secrets like these never stay buried forever. The explosive nature of such a lie is sure to come to light, with repercussions that will shake the very foundations of the Finnegan and Forrester families. Given the trajectory of the storyline and Jacqueline McInnes Wood's, Steffi's actress, impending maternity leave, the revelation might be delayed, but it's inevitable. When Steffi finally uncovers that Luna is not only alive but also being hidden from justice by Lee's hand, the reaction will be nothing short of volcanic. Steffi's fury will boil over a scathing response, reportedly a succinct 7-word declaration that leaves no room for misinterpretation: "Luna belongs in prison, not with you." Steffi's outrage will stem not just from the deceit but also from the danger Lee's actions pose to everyone around them. By harboring Luna, Lee is putting family, friends, and innocent bystanders at risk, allowing a potentially dangerous woman to evade the consequences of her past. Steffi's sense of justice and protection for her loved ones will fuel a fierce determination to see Luna held accountable. This conflict is shaping up to be a monumental showdown, a collision of duty, loyalty, and the quest for justice versus the complexities of compassion and family bonds. It's the kind of emotionally charged battle that The Bold and the Beautiful thrives on, promising heart-stopping scenes and powerful performances. As tensions rise, fans can anticipate a heated exchange of words, accusations, and perhaps even physical confrontations between Steffi and Lee. The ripple effects of this revelation could divide alliances, strain family relationships, and test the very limits of forgiveness. Ultimately, the spoilers suggest that Steffi will be relentless in her pursuit of justice, demanding Luna's arrest and a reckoning for the deception that allowed her to live in hiding. This unfolding drama will not only challenge the characters' morals but also keep viewers riveted as they watch the fallout from one of the most significant betrayals in recent storyline history. Stay tuned as The Bold and the Beautiful delivers another intense chapter filled with encouraging words, angry threats, and the baptism of truths that no one saw coming.